Today's Talk About It Tuesday question is, how should someone invest their tax refund? Every single year around tax time, I get some version of this question. And I always start off my answer with, I cannot tell you a single best way to invest your tax refund, and no one can. Everyone has different investment goals, different time horizon, different level of knowledge and skills when it comes to investing, different risk tolerance. So no one can tell you the single best way to invest your tax refund. And if you're just looking to invest your tax refund separate from a larger tax strategy, something is wrong already. So I'm going to tell you my strategy for what you should do with your tax refund in this order. And if your tax strategy is large enough, you can do all of these things. So I'm going to tell you the 5 best ways I believe you should utilize your tax refund in order to improve your financial condition. How about that? So the big thing that people avoid like the plague and do not want to use their tax refund for, which is probably the absolute best use of your tax refund, is to eliminate your debt. If you invest on one side, and when you invest, the returns on investment in general are relatively low in comparison to the interest on debt. So if you're getting a 5% return, 6, 7, 8% return on your investment, but if you have a 12, 15, sometimes with credit cards, 24, 28% interest on your debt, you're just holding that money to dump into the debt, and the debt is growing larger way faster than you would get a return on your investment. So the best thing to do is, if you are carrying debt, especially high interest debt, take that money and eliminate your debt before you invest in anything. That is important. So you don't end up a net backwards. Even if you're doing both sides, you have a net backwards. That's just crazy. So eliminate the debt. Next thing is, if you do not already have an established emergency fund. And what is an emergency fund? You know, a lot of people like to say 3 months worth of your income. I don't use that formula because, or 3 months worth of your expenses. That's how they usually say it. 3 months worth of your expenses. All of your expenses are not an emergency. So you got to really decide what's an emergency for you. If your car, and you rely on your car, stop functioning, what's the greatest expense that you'd have to pay to get it fixed? That's an emergency. If you have a copay on your and for your medical insurance, that's an emergency. Your premiums for all your insurances, those are an emergency. Being able to get food is an emergency. Your rent is an emergency, or mortgage is an emergency. You know, all those things that are essential, that if you lost your income, that you'd be able to cover for a few months. Or even if you have your income and you just don't want to dip into your regular savings, your investments, that's an emergency. So establish your emergency fund. So number 1, pay the debts. Number 2, establish your emergency fund. Number 3, I say invest in your health. A lot of times people have insurance that does not cover dental and it does not cover vision. And so those things are neglected. You have some extra money, go to the dentist, go to the eye doctor. Take care of any physical things, any health issues that you might have, because making the money is totally useless if you don't have your health. And again, invest in it now, or you will pay for it later anyway. So that's the next thing. After that, I would say invest in your knowledge and skills. So if you do not really understand investing, and you probably don't if you're asking this question, you need to take some type of training class, get some books, videos, however you like to learn, but you need to invest in your education when it comes to finances and investing and savings and, really financial fundamentals. So invest in that. And then finally, if you have those things together, because it doesn't make sense to invest if you don't have those things together, then I would say create an investment goal with a particular time horizon, so you can create an investment strategy and then create a well-diversified portfolio that includes fixed income, right? So that, and just now when I say diversified, I don't mean one fixed income. If you can spread it out, bonds are good, right? And Series I bond is great. Right now, CDs are good. Money market accounts are good. Those are fixed income, super low risk investments. You need to have some money there if you have a portfolio. And then you have some risk, right? Where we're talking about equity. So have some stocks. And if you're not well knowledgeable about how to choose stocks, then do it the easy way. Index fund, which is well diversified. ETFs, which are pretty well diversified. Mutual funds are a little more tricky, but sometimes well diversified. Have some money there. Real estate. Now, I know some of you don't have enough to actually buy a property, but you can buy into a property, meaning you can do crowdfunding in real estate, or you can do real estate investment trust. So create a well-diversified portfolio, meaning you have to split that up. I don't care if one's doing phenomenal right now. You can put a little more there, but it's not always going to be phenomenal. And right now, that means that other areas are less expensive to get into. Get in all of those areas so that as the economy shifts up and down, those things, somewhere, one of those will always be doing well for you. So that's what I suggest. Those are the 5 best ways to utilize your tax refund to better your financial condition. So I'd like to hear your strategies, your thoughts on that. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Keep the questions coming, and I'll see you next Tuesday.